Hey guys, what's up? It is me, Fiction117. I am a DVD and variety streamer on Twitch. You can find it in the description. Basically what I'm going to do today is a beginner's video of what survivor build or little tips and tricks that I've picked up when I first started playing, so it might not make it just as difficult for you. So I'm going to tell you what perks that I used, exhaustion perks and teachable. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown of what the game is all about, and then I'll give you a bit of an insider build to what I first used. So we'll see what happens, shall we? Let's see. So here we have our little band of merry men and women, or sacrifices if you play as killer. They are ranked in different tiers. So there's easy, there's medium or intermediate, and then hard. So Meg, for instance, has got an easier perk set up to begin with, which is easy to get away from chases or to not alert the killer. And say, for instance, like Laurie from Halloween, she is ranked hard because she's got 2, maybe 3 of some of the hardest perks to get hold of. Obviously, Object of Obsession is where the killer can see you, so it's ranked as a hard perk, and it's quite a difficult build set depending on what you're running. But what I'm going to do today is give you a bit of a personal thing of what I did. So what survivor I used, what perk I used, and possible perks to put in your build to make things a bit easier for you and your squad if you've got random people or you've got a survive with friends group. So I'll click onto Meg and I'll show you what I mean. So here we have is your perk screen. Obviously mine's all purple, but I'll go through that in a little minute. So let me get rid of all this for you. So some of the perks that I will recommend to you is on this list already. But every character has teachable perks. So for instance, Meg has Quick and Quiet, which is unlockable at Bloodweb level 30. And then Sprint Burst is probably the most useful perk you'll get from her to teach to other survivors. And that's at level 35. And then it's Adrenaline, which comes in clutch sometimes for me personally. It's like more of an end game thing. Say if you've been injured for the whole game and the exit gates are powered, then you'll be healed 1 health state. So if you're injured, you'll be healthy, and then your sprint burst should reactivate itself, so you get to do it again. See what I'm getting at? Yep. So these are all teachables, ready to teach to other survivors in their blood webs once you get to level 30, 35 and 40 respectively in their own blood webs. But enough about the teachables, I'll go through that another time. What we really want to focus on is a beginning build for you, or what I personally used. So for instance, you but you preferably need to try and equip an exhaustion perk that you might get used to using, like if you're in a chase for instance, or you need to quickly make a diversion to go for a save on the hook, or try and make a quick escape for the exit. So to begin with, if you haven't got certain survivors, I'd recommend to use Sprint Burst. So when you run at a bit more haste than your normal running speed. So when you get to level 3 like I have, it gets to 150% for 3 seconds, and then it takes 60 seconds to recharge itself, and then you can use it again. So it comes in clutch for saves, trying to escape the gates, and to try and outrun your killer in a chase. But you can't have it recharging while you're running. You have to stop for it to recharge. The next one that a lot of people, if you're new, I'd recommend to use is something called Spine Chill. So when the killer is in your radius, which is 36 meters, it says, your Spine Chill at the bottom of your HUD there, well, where my camera is, it will trigger with the Spine Chill icon, which means the killer is close to your vicinity. It is helpful when you're going against certain killers like The Shape or Myers or Ghostface, which are stealth killers. It's easier to pick up where they are because it will go off, but you might not be able to see them, but it lets you know when they're in the vicinity. So it kind of helps in that respect. What I'd recommend next is a healing perk. Not for you, but it's more for your squad. So if you want to quickly heal someone and then get running again from the killer, I would recommend getting something called Will Make It. What it does is when you unhook a survivor, you will get extended and increased healing speed. It will last for 90 seconds, which is the extension of the time, but you'll get 100% increase in speed in your healing. So it's easy to come over, heal on the hook if you want to risk it, and then make a quick getaway and go back to your generators or escape, which I use plenty of times and it works 9 times out of 10, unless the killer's very smart. But the final perk is a bit of a weird one, because I've flipped between a couple of these before. If you're with a group of friends that want to survive, and say you've got a killer that doesn't really leave the hook very much, but you want to help the others know where they are, I would recommend Kindred. So when you're on the hook, within a 16-meter range, when you upgrade it to level 3, the killer's aura, so basically everyone can see the killer within 16 meters of you. So if you say someone's standing there, or they're camping, or they're not moving very far, everyone around the map can see you, or where you are, and you can see where the killer is. So if they've moved, then they can go, right, we're going to go for the save, we're going to go for the gens, or you do this, I'll go for the save, and so on and so forth. It makes it a bit easier just for them if you've got that on. But the other perk that I had was Dark Sense. So each time you repair a generator, the killer's aura, unless they've got certain perks on, is revealed to you for about 5 seconds. So if you say you finish one of the most open in area generators, and then the killer's like quite far at the other end of the map, you can see where they are. Then you can go, right, I'm not in danger yet, I'll go to that side and I'll go and do a generator, or we'll go and see what's going on the other end of the map. So it kind of helps you personally, not everyone else. But I would recommend out of both of them to use Kindred. That's the build I normally use to begin with. But eventually you will get other perks, as you see. Like other exhaustion perks. You get healing perks that benefit you more than everybody else. So to me, for a starter build for your survivor, I think that might be one of your best ones to use, because it makes it easier for you as well as everybody else. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get into a game, and hopefully we can see where we go for there, and I'll show you how it works. Right, I'm not expecting to win this game. All I'm going to do is show you how some of these perks work and how it will benefit you in the end. So if I don't win, I'm not exactly fussed, but it's more of a showcase of how these perks work for you. Hopefully I can show them all off for you in relatively quick time. So I am with 3 random people at the minute, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get somewhere. Right, I'll show you Sprint Burst first. So when you start, obviously you got to look for the generators, which you can find by the flashing lights on the map. Unless it's in buildings, then you have to look for flickering lights, which is usually the best indicator for it. Obviously Kindred and Sprint Burst are lit at the bottom right. So if I do this, you will run quicker than your normal running speed for about 3 seconds, and then it will start to recharge in that little icon there. So in about 60 seconds, it will recharge and you can use it again. Over that side there, and I know what the killer is, it's a nurse. That over there is a generator which you need to fix. There are 5 in total. There's one here as well. So once you fix them, the exit gates will be powered. And what you see there is called a skill check. You get the great barrier and then the good barrier. I would aim just for the good barriers. If you pull off a great skill check, awesome, fair play. But they're sometimes quite hard to hit. Now hopefully I can show you what Will Make It looks like. At the bottom there is a skull icon, which is a killer perk called Thanophobia. I will go into that in a little bit. Or maybe in another video. Killers have their own perks as well, so we'll see. Also, above that, you can see that the little kindred icon is in blue, which means I can see the survivors of where they are. So they're on generators right now. And then you could see where the killer was. So if they go within 16 meters of that hook, they will turn up. So they've done a generator. Spine chill has now gone off in the right, which means nurse is close. There she is. But that's how you know when a killer is close, but you're not right on top of you. So that's probably the easiest way you can actually get ahead of the game. Eventually, if you know the game well, you won't need spine chill. But we'll see. Everyone's different. They're leaving them on the floor. That is a tactic as well, used by killers. Called slugging. Which, it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it can. So, they've picked them up now. Hopefully we're going to go for the save and get We'll Make It on. And then we can go and heal our little friend. Come on, friend. Right, when they get hooked, you will be able to see Nurse. Or the killer that they play as. At this point, it's Nurse. There she is. No, she's not. You can now see where the killer is on the map. That will disappear in 3, 2, 1. So that means you'll be able to see when the killer is in their direction of the hook. I'll try and keep my temper under control, because sometimes it can get a little bit annoying in this game. Right. We'll Make It is active, but I haven't been able to save her yet. So what I'm going to do, I've just took something called a protection hit. So it gives them a bit of time to escape. Right. Wasn't meant to happen, but we got the other survivor away, so I'm happy. And they've come back. So this is going to be sort of as uncut as possible, so I can show you what it's actually like in the game. So what We'll Make It is there. See where it's coming down? So the little red bit is going around the perk. That's how much time I have left to heal anybody that's injured. And vice versa. So if they had We'll Make It for me, he's just hidden a locker. They basically can speed up the healing process and I can get away quickly. Especially seeing as I got sprint burst. So we'll see. So we can see where everybody else is right now, because Kindred works for them as well as you. It's more useful for them, in a sense. Come on, Jay. Come and get me. Come and get me. Oh, look at him. Look at him go. Right. I don't think he's got We'll Make It on. So we'll just skedaddle over here. Hopefully he can heal me quickly. Right, indeed. Thank you. So the nurse is being kept busy at the minute. So if you see We'll Make It, it will go up a lot quicker than that. And healing states get skill checks as well. So just say thank you. It's always nice. Spine chill's gone off, so the nurse is very close. As you can see, it comes up and it goes like that. So if the killer's close, it will stay there. I can't remember off the top of my head how far it is now they have to be away. And depending on the map, if you're inside or outside, don't know what that was. If you're inside or outside, sometimes it will flicker a lot more. So we'll see. So they're dead now. Unfortunately. They've now been sacrificed to the entity, which they're going up into the sky. And I do believe they have a perk on to see where I am too. When you're in chases, you have something called pallets and loops, which you can use these to stun the killer. It doesn't really do... Well, it can give you a few seconds to get away from certain killers. But they can still catch you. They're naturally faster than you. So don't expect them to be like halted forever, but it does help. Which you can get your loop on, and you can just keep looping them for a little bit more, and then you can get away as and when needed. Right, so nurse is coming back. Right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So you can also vault windows, just like that. So you can do that for a little bit of a quick getaway, if you will, especially when you're indoors. So hopefully we've just evaded the nurse. I'm not expecting pro plays in this, because I know she's going to get me eventually. There we go. There we go. Sometimes you can kind of fool the killers, depending on who they are. Because she's one of the slowest killers in the game, so she requires to blink, which is her movement power. So you do that, and sometimes it can break loops or break the chases, but doesn't always work, especially if you're facing the nurse. So it seems like I've escaped for now, so that's good, sort of. Sometimes it doesn't work. That's not too bad. I think I've lost her for now. You see that my sprint burst didn't charge up just? There we go. I haven't lost her. I lied to you. Basically, my sprint burst was almost charging, but while you're sprinting, you can't actually get it recharged again. So it's a bit of a ball ache. So all the generators are done. So we need to go to either exit gate number 1, and the other one's usually on the other end of the map. So we're now in something called second state, which means you have to spam the button that you have maxed. You can change it. So it's X or A if you're on console, like Xbox or PlayStation, or you can remap it. So I think it's spacebar or control on PC. I'm not entirely sure. They've just opened the door. So the time will now come down. It's paused slightly because the entity's waiting because you're on the hook. Right. Well, we'll make a mad dash for the exit. I think it's this side. Hopefully I can get there in time before she finds me. If she finds me, bugger. If not, never mind. We tried our best. But if you don't know the maps properly, I don't really like this map, it's not my favourite, then it's quite hard to find them. So here we are, I found it. Jake's healed himself, so that's good. And I think the killer's just quit. So you get the premise of it. You have to run to the exit, basically. So at the end of this, you get to see how you played. I didn't play very well. I wasn't expecting to because I wasn't really trying to show off. You get ranked on different parts of play. So benevolent. So if you go for the saving of survivors and healing them a lot, it ranks you up to maybe gold. If you get very altruistic, you get iridescent, which is the top medal you can get. Evader is your chase medals of how many chases you win, how many pallet stuns, or how many chases you've lost, and how stealthy you are. Lightbringer, how many generators you've done during the game, and also when you cleanse totems, which are little bundles of skulls where you have to do the little tippy taps and then destroy them, basically. And then unbroken is how long you survive in the trial. Now that's actually fixed. It was broken as shit in the last patch, so we'll see. You get something called pips with your rank system. So I'm almost at, well, I'm at rank 5. So three or four more of those and I'm at rank 4, and so on and so forth. And you get to see what else people were running. So for instance, the nurse was running called Thanatophobia. So for each injured, dying or unhooked survivor, all survivors receive a 5% penalty to a maximum of 20% to repairs, sabotages and totem cleansing speeds. So it slows you down. Nurse's calling is where the nurse can see you healing. So it kind of benefits the nurse a lot. Infectious Fright, which is a teachable perk from another killer called the Plague. The cries of the unfaithful make your heart leap. Any survivors that are within your terror radius while they are being put into a dying state will yell, which is what I did when they got caught in the locker. And then Spies from the Shadows, which is a normal perk, which anybody can get. Which the crows around the map can alert the killer where the survivors have run to. So you can still kind of commit to your chase. So it's always helpful to have those kind of perks. So I didn't manage to show off the will make it, but you kind of get the premise of it. Like, they healed me just off the hook, but the bar will turn yellow. I'm guessing the killer quit. The bar will turn yellow and it will go up a lot quicker. So that's my recommended build for now. If you wanted to start playing Dead by Daylight, it's a all-round perk build. So you can get evading, you can see when the killer's coming towards you, you can heal people to get more of your altruism medals, and then you obviously got Kindred to make it easy for you to see survivors of what they're doing, and they can see where the killer is in case you get any campers or any toxic players or just people that just play completely unfairly. So you can kind of plan your actions around that. I hope it's been helpful. If it hasn't, then I'll probably do more videos of what teachable perks that I'd recommend you to get. But that's the build I would recommend to start with first if you are a new player. Some people use Will Make It now to this day, and it's like the most useful perk in the world to me. So I really hope it's been helpful. If you've got ideas for different builds, or if you want me to do a killer build of what I personally run, then by all means let me know. But other than that, enjoy this little informative video and a little gameplay for you, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Surviving the fog, and peace.